I'm not wrong. You're wrong.
Hey guys, I'm Nick.
And I'm Tony.
And we're the Sicilian brothers.
And we basically talk about anything involving real estate and anything that pisses us off.
And this week we're going to be brutally honest about realtors, rates, market, the investors,
wholesalers,
and
what's going on.
Check it out.
Yeah, so I didn't understand, like I don't fucking care about people or those.
No, it's just it's comical to me that type of behavior will get thrown off of Twitter, but you can be the Taliban and literally hang people from helicopters. And no, you're good. We're gonna give you guns.
Well, I wonder if because I didn't. So someone else showed me a meme. Jessica showed me a meme this week, and I was like, I don't get it. And she's like, well, you don't know what happened? And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, what happened? And she's like, oh, he said something, against Jewish people. And I was like, what did he say?
I mean, don't get me wrong. He's gone full Mel Gibson, right? But
crazy.
Yeah.
So
he's always been crazy.
I was about to say, but I feel like he's always been crazy. But anyway, so then she starts pulling up what he said, and I feel like the man in the Oval Office has said worse shit, and because it was gibberish, right? Like if you read the paragraph, it was gibberish, and it wasn't even anything he didn't say anything Hitlerish where he was like
actual hate.
Yeah, actual hate. He from what I read, again, unless she only showed me a part, it was nothing.
Can I give a little more?
Yeah.
So
give us a little more insight. So
yeah. So almost a month ago now, multiple weeks ago, he started hanging out with his buddy Candace Owens, and she.
Oh, isn't that's the
yes.
Works for Ben Shapiro now, which is funny, but she's gotten him onto this, right-wing rabbit hole, and I know we'll probably disagree somewhat here, but you know that the anti-Semiticism, all these conspiracy theories, which on another note, Kanye does have bipolar disorder, and they're super susceptible to conspiratorial thinking.
Absolutely.
But every conspiracy theory goes back down to some type of anti-Semitic, New World Order, George Soros. The Jews are controlling everything in business. You've heard all this. So Kanye, without a good understanding of that, went down that rabbit hole and the Black Israelite rabbit hole without really understanding either, and then tweeted he's going to go DEFCON 3 or whatever the defense protocol on the Jewish people, or on the Jews. Yeah. That started the outrage. Then he went on an interview cycle. Piers Morgan, Lex Friedman. I don't know if you know him, but both pretty lib capitalists or neoliberal capitalist people who are ending up having to defend. Be like Kanye. Why are you saying Jewish business people wronged you? Just say it's business people. Just say it's capitalism that wronged you. So that's a little more context. And Kanye on these interviews doubled down.
He did.
He's not backing down.
I was about to say he ran. He just kept digging the grave.
I mean, he's talking about buying power, I think, and everything, right? He's gone full.
Oh yeah.
But
so you said he's not going Nazi. He's not going violent.
No, he's just speaking his mind. That mind might be fucking crazy. Right. But it goes against the narrative, and you're not allowed to speak your mind. It's that fucking simple.
Well, he's being allowed to. I mean,
how he's being taken off of everything.
Yeah, but he's being put on Piers Morgan's.
Yeah. So he's
going on there, but
he's still being platformed.
He's being platformed on the platform that he's
because those platforms are getting views from him.
Right.
Why,
so,
that's the whole reason.
So
they're
he's
the one jumping it up.
He's allowed to be on their platform.
No, we're over here talking about this shit. Kanye, 2 weeks before Election Day. 2 weeks before Election Day, we're here talking about Kanye. I don't give a fuck about Kanye. It's just noise.
Good point.
And that's the whole point of it all. You're going to have everybody talking about Kanye. I woke up and I just saw Facebook blowing up about Kanye and Jews. And I'm like, What did I miss? Is Ukraine over, or is the pandemic over? Is all that over all of a sudden?
Well,
like,
the
no.
pandemic's been over because the newest thing is Ukraine,
Yeah.
and then.
Well, all right, so let's actually start getting into this fucking episode, right? So we're in real estate where everybody's talking about the market, everybody's talking about rates going up. I saw a thing yesterday. The base rate is at 7.75, I think now, and it's only going to keep on going up. Right now, you have non-conforming loans the same rate level as conforming loans, right? Which is damn near unheard of, which means the non-QM loans are about to get hiked even further.
And
right?
the Fed meets next week.
The Fed meets next week.
Before Election Day.
And
it's projected that they're going to go up another point.
Mm-hmm. A full point or 75? Another full point.
Supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
But what is, right? Like, I don't know. I come from a school of thought where I don't care about rate, right? That's just been...
The same rate that I'm selling now is the same rate I was selling in 2019. So it's not that far. Everybody's mind is blown, right? Because the difference that we started the year at, the year at 4%. Now we're at 8%, right? We just doubled in 10 months. That's unheard of.
So what is the message that rate doesn't matter? Well, obviously that's always been my message, but or is it that? Well, because you're in the loan world, you talk about rate every day, all day to people, and then I get phone calls and people are like, "What do you think is going on in the market? Like, what's going to happen? Are we going to have a crash?" And I'm like, "Fucking people are so dumb." Like in this business, in our world, I don't care what the rate is. I don't care what's going on in California or hell, technically even Austin, right? Like I only care about what's happening in DFW. And then it's like, oh, okay, so I wake up today and I go and I look at a house and I run my comps and I look at, actives, pendings, and solds, and I determine my value, and then I use my percentage, and then I make an offer, right? Like I don't, in my acquisitions world, that never changes whether rates are 10% or 4%, right? I think for the longest time, people have been fooled by cheap money, right? And so that allowed people to go and pay
overpriced.
Well, yeah, not even like just break the tradition or the traditional mathematics of investing, right? And that's causing that influx of noobs to
I think
deflate.
they're not looking at real estate properly, right? I think a lot of people
and they're undereducated.
Yeah. So what? But all right. So
not college undereducated. They're just undereducated as to like how to fucking do real estate as a business.
All right. So when you're buying a stock, let's just say regular investing, you're buying on NASDAQ, right? If you're going to buy Google, all right, and let's just say Google's at $100, right? And when you buy that, you're hoping that it goes up and then you sell at a higher price, right? That's your profit. Yeah. That's standard NASDAQ, whatever the fuck you want to do. And people are looking at the market the same way. People are looking at the housing market and saying, hey, if I buy this property now, and then what's going to happen in 6 months when the market? Well, the problem is you're not, as a real estate investor, that's not what you're doing. You're actually dollar cost averaging. Every time you buy a new house, you're pricing that at that time to that house.
Yeah.
And you don't give a shit about the other house. You don't care about you do care about the market, but you're buying that one at 70% minus, whatever, your calculations at that time. All right. The market might go up or down on that one. Doesn't matter, right? Because that property, we're not doing one a deal a year, right? We're not just doing one at a time. We always talk about this. We're not doing dips and ups and downs. We average out. So as you buy, and every time you buy, you're dollar cost averaging of that, if you would, a stock, right? Instead of just buying at $30 and selling at $100, you're buying at $30 and it dips down. You're buying at fucking $25 and it goes up to $40. You're still buying. No matter what, you're buying. Never stop buying.
So maybe the education, because I don't trade stocks. I I don't follow any of that. I look at memes. So I'll see a meme of was it Google? The Google meme like that drove off a cliff.
Yeah.
Is that one
That was,
passed around like yesterday or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so like I look at that and I laugh and I'm like, oh, I guess people lost money in the stock market. I don't fucking know.
I think that was Meta.
But
Meta,
it was
Meta drop.
It was Meta.
Yeah.
But so I guess I'm stuck in my little hole, right? And I've been screaming at everyone I talk to. Like there was that kid in our meetup that it was like paying 92%, of ARV, right? That's what his fund was allowing him to buy. And I'm like,
I'm sure that guy needs a job right now because I'm sure that fund stopped buying at 98%.
I should text him, but I guarantee that fund is offline.
So this past week, right, we had two big funds. We had AlphaFlow and Finance of America. Both of them shut down.
You could fact check this, but
Yeah, they're gonna.
No. You can fact check this. I didn't know if you knew that, but because you said Finance of America went offline. You had told me that earlier in the week. Just like about 2 weeks ago, I saw that Finance of America, and this is where you need to fact check me. I believe it was Finance of America was bought by GuaranteedRate.com. So Rate.com is like the largest, right? They've become the largest refinance lender, mortgage origination company, right? And I heard that Finance of America stopped doing their.
All right, so here we go. Finance of America plans to sell retail division to Guaranteed Rate, close wholesale channel. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what that means though is that's interesting. So because you read that article and it's the headline is deceiving. So you see it says retail division, and you think oh, that means to Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and that's not what this is.
What's their retail division?
Is accepting direct applications from investors. So they took Finance of America, which is non-QM lending, and where I'm going is you're going to see Rate.com
start doing
non-QM DSCR loans. It's just going to not be under Finance of America, and they're not going to broker it out.
Yeah.
It's going to be under.
Yeah, they just picked up an arm.
That's
pretty much.
all they did was pick up a subsidiary to generate alternate revenue.
Yeah.
Which I think I said to you on the way over to the studio today that, very shortly you're going to see people pop back up loaning again, right? So that headline, oh shit, that headline. Any normal person that reads that headline is like, oh man,
They're Fannie and Freddie
and
division,
that's
right? They're retail
and
Fannie
that's like,
and Freddie.
no, they're not a Fannie and Freddie lender. They're a non-QM and interim lender, right? So
Bridge.
yes.
Yeah.
So now you have this giant monstrosity of Rate.com that's gonna,
And Finance of America was a large non-QM product.
I don't know how many
or
B's
company.
I don't know how many zeros they had, but it was very large. But there. So my point is I think you're going to see Rate pop up with a non-QM investor bucket now.
We should get Andrew on here. Andrew, come on and chat.
Oh yeah. It'd be interesting to. I know that the retail like owner occupied lending world has to be. They just have to be hurting, not like hurting like we're stressed. But
the
our
average
stress comes from different things. I think like if you're a broker doing loans for mom and pop, you're I don't know. It's a challenging time for them because they can't.
What's the buying power, right? So the rate difference, right, for let's say first time home buyer, their rate going up 3 points. What does that do to their buying power? If they were going for a 350 loan originally, I'm sure they're now looking at a 250 house or something like that, right? Like you just got kneecapped.
I don't know. So that's a valid question. I think I again could be totally wrong. I think the market that's taking the hit, price sector wise. So when we talk about markets, we talk about 250 and below, 250 to 500, 500 to 750, 750,000 to a million, right? Roughly, whatever, right? Then you have a million plus. Let's just say those are your markets. I think the 250 market's going to be okay because they're still, meaning they're going to be able to afford.
That buyer
Is going to be able to afford whatever it is that they're purchasing because there's going to be someone filling the need for that asset class. I think the ones that are going to take the biggest, like where we're going to see the market dip, is in the probably 6 to 800,000. That's like to me, that typical, like the archetype of that person is someone who works in corporate America. That's maybe they got laid off, or maybe they had to not take a pay increase, whatever.
Or they're
right?
two incomes, right? Like there's
they go from two incomes to one income, right? That I think that, which I can't believe I'm about to say this, but like that's blue collar America, right? They're the ones that are going to get hurt. Everyone. The 1%ers, the million and up,
they're the same.
They were not relying on financing rate being 3% to buy $1 million house, and if they were fucking idiots and they shouldn't have bought. But it's the people that actually
need. Yeah, and as messed up as that sound, because those 250 buyers and stuff, they can get assistance. There's a lot of them, and specifically in Texas, right? Like even today, I think it's first time home buyers, they can get the rate assistance, and I know I'm talking on my ass because I only know a little bit about it, but they can get their rate down from like a 7.5 down to like a 5 still.
Yeah, no,
like in today's market.
That's what I'm saying. So we have a that asset class, not class of human, that asset class of investment property has some loopholes for buyers, right? And those are still there. So I think that they're going to be fine. And that's when you talk about it's so weird because when we have this conversation, everyone's like referencing, oh, those people are going to get hurt. They're not going to be able to have houses or affordable housing. And it's like, no, they're fine. The ones just above that, in that what's become middle blue collar America, which is, it's not rate or class of houses or anything. It's like, because when our parents bought our house on Palm Street, they bought it the year I was born.
81.
In 1981. I think they paid, it was actually a new house. That I didn't know if you knew that, but like our little subdivision, not that we have subdivisions in New York, but our little pocket was like new houses in the 80s. So they like bought it new, and it was, I think they paid around 18% for their mortgage rate, right?
But that was on a $30,000, $40,000 house.
That was a $30,000 house.
Yeah.
Right? That house, when we moved out of it, 20 some odd years later, sold for $250,000, right? Like, but we grew up blue collar, right? Like we're just working class people, and so where my mind is like, again, if you follow the headlines, it's like, yeah, you're gonna get analysis paralysis, but get out of the headlines and just buy off of your percentages, shop a little bit, but don't overshop and shoot yourself in the foot, right? Like it's okay to, hey, if you know that this is something. This is a prime example of something I do, and I laugh at myself because I do this. But like, if I need to stop for gas at a gas station, and let's just say I'm on a highway, I'm like, yo, the gas stations off the highway are like usually 10 to 20 cents higher, right? So like, I purposely drive where I gotta go technically and get to the off the highway gas station.
It's the same thing as a ATM at a strip club. You bring cash with you. You never use the one at the strip club.
Yeah, that's the adult version.
Yeah, same thing.
That's the NC-17 version of what I just discussed. Yeah. So I think it's okay. Now, am I an idiot if I break my route pattern and waste fucking 5 gallons of gas to save 10 cents? Yes.
Yeah.
So to the rate shoppers, you're a fucking moron if you go and rate shop for either no prepayment penalty or no point loans or whatever. If you're analyzing your deals to that degree where you're making and it's costing you time, and the only thing that we're learning right now is that time is money, which it's always been, but time is money in a sense of like the appraisal values are leveling and prices are going up on the cost of the money, right? So how fucking long do you wait?
It's comical because I see people that like I priced out months ago. They're coming back to me, right? And they're like, "Oh, can you send me updated pricing?" And I'm like, "You rate shot me before when I sent you this at 6%. Now it's almost at 8. Like, what are you thinking? You're in an upward trending market, right? Rates are only going up. Values are leveling
Stagnant.
out.
Yep.
Yeah, they're not going down. They're leveling out. People aren't being saved by the market, right?
Yeah.
Their mistakes aren't being paid for. And it's just mind-boggling to me, right? Like that people in this market are still trying to rate shop and stuff like speed.
I wonder
speed
if-
is everything. Speed and efficiency. I lost one of the best clients I've ever had because he rate shopped me for like a 16th of a point or something like that, an eighth of a point, something that I could have. He never even came back to me. I had no idea. But this guy, he used to text me on Sundays. I would be in Florida or on vacation. I would jump right on his shit. It was the easiest lending that he ever deal with. I would close loans in like 3 weeks. He rate shopped me, and then I lost him. And I'm like, "Yo, what are you doing?"
And he still
right
hasn't
now?
closed his loan.
I don't know. The other one that left me, yeah, that one still hasn't closed too.
Right? So like so it's bird in the hand versus let me go hunt for the fucking cardinal, right?
Because their reasoning is worse, right? Their reasoning is, hey, in this day and market, I gotta save everything. I gotta pay.
No, because but that's
you're dollar cost averaging, people.
But
right?
also,
you're sticking bars of gold in your pocket. That's what a rental is. A rental is a bar of gold that you're going to cash out on eventually,
but
one way or another, either in cash flow, depreciation, appreciation, when you sell it, equity.
I was just thinking that they're also like self-educating themselves, which is slightly dangerous because the people we're referencing are like what I would consider new, like 5 years or less, and they are, again, they've been fooled by cheap money to where they can buy a house wholesale, sometimes no money out of pocket, right? And then use the lender's money and rehab it and then sell it. But they took them 6 or 8 months to renovate it, but the market was giving them that other 5%. So they were tripping upward. And now you can't trip upward.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to trip and you're going to skin your fucking knees.
The the best quote of the market, or the best analysis of the market, right? Visualization was, I forget his name. I'll come back to it. He said investors for the past 5 years were, everybody's floating the river, high-fiving, drinking. Yeah, we're all, and the river's drying up and people are stuck in a dried river. Just what the hell happened? And that's
Where'd the water go?
Yeah, that's literally what it is. And everybody's just floating the river together, thinking that everybody was crushing it. And it wasn't. It was the river.
Yeah. I feel like the river went to the Ukraine.
It got diverted somewhere, but
not to our pockets. What?
So what are we expecting, right? So we're not doom and gloom at all. I am about the overall global market economy, but real estate I'm still confident in. What are we going to see, right? So we always said this is not 2007, 2018. It's different. But from those times afterwards, right, you had long days on market, right? We're going to start seeing that. We already are.
So this is supposed to be what is today's podcast called?
Oh, we always do brutally honest.
Yeah, brutally honest, right?
Yeah.
So like this is I'm great. You got the vent. I'm fucking happy for you. But this week, I think I was pretty quiet this week because in my personal life, on social media, even in the office, like I've just been going through my head, and I'm significantly less vocal than I was in previous years of my life. But what I've been struggling with specifically this week was the amount of I guess maybe I saw it coming, the amount of
job applications.
Well, the amount of fucking idiots that were in our pool, and it was like, yo, get out, or our backyard, and it was like, get out of my backyard, like just let me do what I do, stop trying to fuck up the market and stuff like that. And in the last couple of weeks, I've seen them all complain and need relationships and need deals and need money, and right. And what I want to, what I feel like saying to most of them, not all of them, is fuck you, because I've been telling you for 10 years that hey, we're in one of the greatest cycles I've ever been in, and I was only in the previous 10 years of that, so I'm not that old, but hey, fuck you, because I've been saying the entire time that your relationships are your biggest, is the biggest thing that's going to carry you in a market, right? A market, any market. And then they all went and burned bridges, in my mind, because they went to the highest bidder, right? And I never sell to the highest bidder because, and call me an idiot if you want, I don't fucking care. But I never sell to the highest bidder. I sell to the best bidder, because
if the highest so happens to be the first offer, hey, you won it. But
right.
We always take the first offer a lot of times.
Yeah,
because we say that's the most
emotionally committed. On the retail side of our stuff, yes, and then vice versa to that, when you have someone like me or us who can perform at any level and are guaranteed, I've been passed over left and right with my offers. Actually, someone had the balls to text me a deal this week, and I let Jessica analyze it because I've just been too busy. And he replied to her something along the lines of, if you guys are going to be offering 50 cents on the dollar, I'm not even going to waste my time sending deals to you. And I should have vocalized this on Facebook, because I saw his post about the deal and stuff like that. And it's like, yo, motherfucker, I'm not offering 50 cents in the dollar. I'm offering you 70 or 75 minus repairs. Your fucking numbers are wrong, yeah. Right? I'm not wrong. Mm-hmm. You're fucking wrong. And that's the part that's annoying as fuck to me, because I sit there all day, every day, analyzing deals. I mean, between me and the acquisitions team, we're 20 deals a day that I'm looking at, and I'm like, I'll make you an offer on every fucking deal.
I love how we're always arguing with wholesalers that have never once had to deal with the same property at the ARV, right? They've never seen the property hit the ARV. They always sell it and walk away and fucking,
and they
I don't know what happened to that one.
They get their $2 or $5 grand and walk away, right?
Yeah,
like they have no fucking idea. And the flip side of that is there are some wholesalers who actually know what they're doing, but didn't ruin their relationship with me over the last couple of years because they wouldn't take my offer offensively. They would say, okay, that's Tony and he's here, and that's use me as that ace in the hole. Let them go get more on if there's a bigger fool and they can go get more, go ahead, right? Like I don't take it personal, but when you bark back at my acquisitions team and say like, you guys are fucking out of your minds and like use not improper language.
They're getting offended by the offer, and you're like, no, your deal is offensive.
Yeah, you're a fucking idiot if you think that this is how dumb I am to think
my offer was respectable. Yeah, your deal is a piece of shit and overpriced,
and then
numbered.
We simultaneously, so after she sent the text with our offer or emailed with our offer, whatever, and he responded with whatever the fuck he responded with, instantly we got a text from someone else with the same deal with a different number on it, and then
higher or lower?
Higher, like our purchase price, of course. The offer price to us was higher, and it was like Jessica's response was, we already submitted an offer to the person who has it before you at this number. And they were like, oh, okay, I'll send you the next one I get. And I'm like, yes, go ahead. But chances are, for the most part, like my team has analyzed the deal and made an offer on it. And do I get every one? No. But at the same point, I'm starting to, I feel like I need to start getting angry again and not necessarily making enemies, but it's like stop, like just
we have to start being brutally honest again.
Kick them in the nuts because they don't understand. You should have never adjusted your numbers to pay more than 75% of ARV. They were never, and this is, I love access to technology and all the
new softwares.
The softwares that are out there to analyze deals. I love that there's tools out there for people to get into the business. What I don't love is the tools people
only using the tools, right? They're not learning real estate
and not factoring in the fault ratio of the algorithm that's being used, right?
They're also not looking at outside forces a lot of times too, right?
Sure.
They don't look at a lot of times those like all those work off algorithms, right? Almost like as estimate, but if they're not going in and actually finding hard comps and accurately doing it, they're fucking gonna be way off. And then they're sitting there arguing with you, Mr. Real Buyer, that their deal is wrong. And
so I have this bipolar disorder towards realtors. I fucking hate realtors. But that comes from an old that's like an old wound that will never go away. But I also respect realtors. Because they did have to go to school and take classes, and they had to skin their, they had a whole lot of work to do to figure out how to get their license. They got their license. Good ones learned how to comp and understand the difference between one property to another property, and those I have respect for. What has really bugged me about the technology and the new wave of virtual buyers is they aren't educated in comps. They aren't educated in, you know, white elephants and
Market
you know,
influences and actually.
yeah, right. Influence, you know, negative influences, positive influences, right? It's just it's funny because people have gotten into the business in the last couple of years, and the phone's ringing that they need jobs right now. So some of them are good ones, and I feel bad for them. But at the same point, like, you know, it's
needed. It's almost like shedding its skin.
It's a really great purge.
Yeah. Purge, shedding, all that.
Yeah.
People are gonna start going back to school.
Yeah.
So
That brings up a whole nother can of worms. But I think they're about to get schooled. They're not going back to school. You're about to get schooled on what real investing is like. For instance, I'm not going to name the name, but like the deal we got via Facebook Messenger yesterday, TJ got it actually, and
you know the lender.
You told me who it was, and we knew who the lender was, so I made a phone call to the lender. I wasn't going around the person or circumventing them to like get the deal.
Yeah, we're just getting the full story.
I was just like, hey, I know you have the loan on this.
What's the story?
They started cracking up, and they're like, how do you know that? And I was like, where did this come from? Like, how do you know? And I was like, dude, everyone like, so
small network.
Yeah. So the numbers are so bad for the guy, for the investor, and he's not a bad investor. No. Just a few bad outside circumstances happened to him in the last 6 to 12 months that caused multiple deals to have catastrophic losses. And I mean, I know his losses are in the six figures. And so that fucking hurts, right? So I'm one of them. I'm still counting the losses from mistakes that some fucking people on my team made in the last 12 months. And you know, it hurts, but you have to weather the storm.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I was saying earlier, right? That's what sets us a different. Well, I think that's the break-even point between just being an investor that does ones or twos to actually a full-time investor.
Such a shitty word.
It really is.
Because it's such a joke. Right?
Investor?
Like, yeah, the word investor.
Yo, I'm sweating my tits off in here.
It's like the Seinfeld episode where where Elaine's dating the doctor, but he's a podiatrist.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he's like, no, I'm a doctor. She's like, yeah, but you're a doctor of the feet, like you're a fucking podiatrist, right? You're not a guy that can go do heart surgery.
Are dentists doctors?
That's a good question. And there's a difference between dentists too, right? Like, I think that's a good question. I don't necessarily, I don't consider them doctors. But then again,
Do you tell that to your dentist before they're going in?
No.
Hey, man, I don't consider you a doctor.
I actually only go to a specific dentist that puts me to sleep because it's like surgery for me. Like, I can't go.
And she is a doctor.
She actually is a doctor because she could prescribe the medicine to knock me the fuck out before she does whatever the fuck she's going to do, right? So there are differences, but I mean, you can call yourself an investor all you want, but if all you've done is been
assignments.
the high, but been the and it's not even that. If all you've ever done in the last 2 to 5 years is sit behind a desk, let your auto dialer ring 100 fucking times for the day, and then all you have to do to get the yes is tell the person what they want to hear and send them a contract at a number that they wanted. And not have any skin in the game, not do any true real work, not go
30-day
visit the
options,
house, right?
fucking $100, right?
Actually put up earnest money, actually no option period, actually go like put your fucking balls on the table. Like I don't want to I don't consider you an investor. I consider you a fucking call center employee.
Like the guy who did 30-day option for $100? Or was it $10? I forget.
But that we did tell that story, right? Yeah.
Yep.
The guy that turned into be a oil tycoon. That's what
Criminal background.
Yeah, with a criminal background.
Yeah.
Too criminal. Like he tried to run somebody over and kill them with a car. So assault with a deadly weapon. But yeah, if you're a kid, sorry kids, if you're anyone sitting behind the desk with a dialer, not actually going out, that's what happens when you get older. Shit gets limp. If you're not actually doing the work to go sit on the dirty couch. Yesterday I walked, 2 weeks ago, I got a lead from a wholesaler. And I was like, yeah, I took it sight unseen. The numbers made sense. Closed on it. And yesterday I just so happened to be in the area.
Sohail's coming to fix my mic.
Yeah. Hi, Sohail.
Hello.
I just happened to be in the area of where this house was that I bought last week. And there's squatters in it, right? So I bought it sight unseen. I didn't even go to the outside. Like I literally just saw the numbers, ran some quick comps and said, yeah, I'll take it. Closed and funded on it. And then yesterday,
Finally met the squatters.
yesterday I went and knocked on the door at 9 a.m. They were awake. And they let me in. And
The best part is the squatters were awake, but our tenants that we were at before that were not awake.
Yeah.
We had better. Our squatters are better than our tenants right now. I just want to point that out.
And they're so nice. And but where I was going with this story was that I woke up early yesterday to drive to Sherman Denison, did my morning routine, brushed my teeth, took a shower, got my buy call outfit on. If you want to know what a buy call outfit is, hit me up. I'll explain. But I get dressed to go look at a house, and the house wasn't that dirty, but the squatter that was walking me around the house, wouldn't stop smoking his cigarettes.
You're just chain smoking them?
And I was trying to get out of the house quickly. I just wanted to make sure that the house was like in relatively good shape. But he talked my ear off, and then the female squatter talked my ear off even more. And I'm like, I find myself by the front door, like the front door is half open, and I'm like out the door. They're still trying to talk to me, and I'm like, I did what I needed. Get the fuck out of my house. Whether you take my cash for keys or you fucking leave via the constable, I don't care. You're getting out, but I need to walk out. Anyway, I get in my truck and I start driving back down south, and I'm like. I have to go home. I can't spend the rest of my day like this. I went home, I stripped, threw all those clothes in the laundry, and fucking re-showered and did my morning routine all over again, because that was like it was so I smelled so bad.
Is it gonna be one of those houses that we have to like kill twice because it's gonna bleed through? Right?
No,
because that has happened.
No,
before.
that has happened. No, it's not even one of that. It's just he was next to me through the entire thing, and it just. But I haven't been around smoking a long time, and like my last night to this morning, my fucking like sinuses and nasal cavities have been fucked. Right, so if I have to go do that at the level that I'm at. And you're some piece of shit kid sitting behind the desk running and buying off of 88 or 92% and not ever experiencing cockroaches or fucking feces or stepping in. Jessica stepped in dog shit.
In her
this
Doc
week.
Martens.
In her Doc Martens, right?
In those dyke fucking stompers.
You have no idea. So you don't get the right to call yourself an investor. So,
on that note, I think what are we talking about on the 7th, right? We have the meetup coming up. We're actually going up there with all intentions, to be brutally honest, and slap investors, right?
yeah, I think that was my mission. That's kind of where I went psychologically the last week or two, as we were thinking about meeting whatever 500, 700,000 people, talking to everybody. Everyone always asks us the same question, whether it's on the phone, via text, or social media. It's like, oh, what do you think? What do you think's happening in the market? And my answer is going to be the same, which is it's a great time to buy houses, and I'm going to keep buying houses, right? And then people are going to be like, oh, but what about access to capital? It's like, I have plenty of access to capital, right? Like I have plenty of access to private money, hard money, whatever the fuck I want, right? And then they're going to be like, oh, well, can I send you deals? And I'm going to say, yeah, you can send me fucking deals if you know what the fuck you're doing, which is to buy right now. You need to stop buying at 75 and go back to 70. Because when I started, we started at fucking 60 minus repairs. I allowed my brains accepted the 15% difference over the last 20 years, but you need to go back to 70 and start there. And everybody needs to do that.
I think people are scared to offer that, though. Like,
because they don't have the fucking balls.
Exactly. You have to be able to throw that offer out and just wait and accept whatever comes back. If they laugh at you,
they have no training,
and then work past that.
Like, you went from being a fucking cashier yes person to sitting behind the desk with a dialer yes person. Right?
Perfect example of this is, I don't even remember the fucking property. You had it locked up for like 120, right? And she was about to sign.
She had the DocuSign open for the contract at 125.
Yeah, that was it.
And got a phone call while she was signing
from one of our friends, right?
Our contract from someone that we know.
Yep.
And that person paid her $50,000 more than she was about to sign for on our contract. When she called Jessica and explained this, Jessica said, "That's awesome. Okay. In this story, I am not angry that that lady made 50 grand more.
No,
I am not angry. Props to her. Great job. I'm fucking ecstatic for her.
We
right?
literally hung up that phone and called the wholesaler."
And I laughed at it.
Not laughed at him.
Again,
we're friendly with him. We know him.
I was just like, yo, that house that you just blasted out, put on your email campaign, and he's only making $5,000 spread on it. I was like, can you train your acquisitions guys actually how to buy houses? Yeah, have you seen the house? No. You did, so you didn't go walk it and smell it? You have no idea what you were putting under contract? Because we did. And our offer was, what it was, because of the condition of the house. Did they sell it? Yes. Did the buyer get more money? Or the seller get more money? Yes. So we're happy. I'm not angry at that.
That just goes to show that wholesaler is going in there only looking for that $5,000 profit and only making an offer with that in mind.
Yeah.
That $5,000 profit is not going to carry you through the next year.
Well, and ultimately he didn't close on it. He found someone to pay him the $5,000.
Yeah.
And I think that they are few and far and in between.
That could have been a $60,000 assignment, right? Or whatever, right? 55.
Yeah. If he had actually done the dirty work, done it the right way, done it the correct way, done it the educated way, done it the fucking way that it's been done forever. Again, I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm saying you reinvented the goddamn wheel, and your fucking wheel is a piece of shit, and you need to send it back to the goddamn factory and learn how to build it the right way. I'm sick and tired of fucking getting pitched deals from people and their numbers make 0 sense. And then they wonder why, like you're starting to see not sold, like there's no sold emails going out. It's price reduced, price reduced, price reduced. So my argument isn't that the investor themselves is shit. It's what you're doing to the market and what you're doing to sellers is wrong. I'm going into Mr. and Mrs. Smith's home and I'm sitting there and I'm talking to them and I'm saying to them the truth as I see it, and this is why my offer is what it is. They could take it or leave it, right? They could gamble, they can work with me, they can wait weeks, months, whatever. And so I'm not saying that they're doing anything or like there's nothing technically in a sense bad about it other than the fact that they don't have any intention to close on it. Mm-hmm. So if you're locking up houses that you haven't seen, you haven't walked through, and Mr. and Mrs. Smith are banking on you closing so that they can go put grandma into the fucking retirement home.
Yeah. All these homes have pain points, right? They're not retail. And
if you're not doing your fiduciary responsibility, which is where the respect for realtors comes, right? So the bipolar side of me is like, realtors actually
they're supposed to.
Yeah. Should have
it's the same thing as doctor.
Ethics and their fiduciary responsibility to their client, right? Like if you're someone going in and putting houses under contract with all the weasel clauses and no skin in the game, earn actual fucking earnest money, not $10, not $100, like actual fucking earnest money. I have zero respect for you and I want you out of the market.
Which I think we're going to see. We're going to see some of them out.
I mean, I hope so. Not that I hope like that they lose. It's not that. It's just go get a fucking real job. Isn't that like a Green Day song? Why don't you go get a job?
Learn to code was a big thing for a while. Not Green Day, but I think that's good for this week. What do we got coming up? We got November 7th. Actually, I don't even want to talk about November 7th, but if you just go to www.theremeetup.com, that's going to always put our next event, whether it's the mixer or the meetup. So you can go there, see who's speaking, see what the lineup is, register, come on out and see us. Follow along on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, OnlyFans. We're going to get Tony on that soon.
Parlor. Truth.
Twitter soon.
Twitter.
If you guys have any questions, drop a comment. If you guys are interested in learning about real estate, check out REIAF.
REIAF.com.
Yeah, REIAF.com.
REIAF.com.
Real estate investing as fuck.com.
I just realized we can actually create an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And just do free subscription.
I know that.
Actually, we can make people pay for them if they want. But we should do it. Hey guys, thanks for watching that video. This is Tony Sicilian signing out. We are the Sicilian Brothers. If you enjoyed our content, please subscribe, smash the like button, share us with your friends, and stay tuned for more.